Large-scale farming requires tremendous amounts of water. Plants must be watered, cattle need to drink, and endless rows of trees have to be irrigated. Carolina Compson lives in the middle of these farmlands and relies on a well to provide water for her home.
So I had about 80 feet of water, and this time that it's at 20 feet right now.
Which is?
Not anything really.
She can still hold for another few weeks, but she'll need to dig deeper into the ground as her water reserves dry up.
So it's going to cost any more than $20,000, $30,000. It's a lot of money. Financially, yes, I don't think I can do it.
The large-scale farms seem to have control over the water here. Just a few yards from Mark Spencer's home, these wells pump extraordinary amounts for producing alfalfa, which is used for animal feed.
Pivot here and then a pivot there. So this well is probably pumping somewhere between 700 and 1,000 gallons a minute right now. That's 1 billion gallons a year.
Over the past 5 years, farmlands have increased by almost a third in Arizona. The number of wells has risen from 43 to 123 in Wilcox alone.
We're going to drill to 1,000 foot, 1,200 foot.
There's no limit to how much can be pumped up from the water tables, making it an attractive prospect.
In this area, there's no rules.
So your client can pump as much water as
they could drill a well every 10 foot all around this place, no limit.
No tax, nothing.
No.
All they have to do is buy the land to have access to as much free water as they want.
They put a lot of money into these farms, into the wells. The investors want to make sure that the water is there for a long time.
We spoke to some ranchers after larger-scale farm owners refused to meet us for an interview. The Klump brothers have 3,000 head of cattle and are firmly against restricting water usage.
We own the land and we own the water. That's the people around here, we want to actually own our stuff. We don't want people telling us what to do, and we like to have the property the way that we have it, because if we don't have the control of our water, then we don't have our land.
And they say it isn't only ranches like theirs that could go under.
Even the big corporations, they will. If it comes to that, if they run out of water, they'll go out of business. That's just like anything. That's capitalism, right?
Oh, okay.
So if they go out of business, then bye-bye.
Hydrologists carry out measures on the state's water, but only in limited places. Places known as active management areas, or AMAs, and they're subject to regulations.
There's Santa Cruz AMA, there's Tucson AMA, Pinal AMA, Phoenix AMA, and Prescott AMA. The rest of the state is not AMA.
Private land is out of bounds, which means hydrologists don't have access to these other wells. And some are sounding the alarm against unlimited water usage.
The natural precipitation doesn't replace it fast enough, and so we have feet of drawdown that is measured in some locations between 1 foot and maybe up to 10 feet every year of water level decline. That means that at some point the water will run out.
As a result, parts of the land have caved in, collapsing as the water is pumped up from beneath. For now, imposing regulations is off the table. The agricultural sector generates $23 billion in Arizona every year.